This is Dabu7. Some very interesting facts here about who is working with who here on this world stage as all these things are going down. We have this cable that was sent out from Israel, basically the Mossad addressing the situation with Iran and showing their support, their collusion with Saudi Arabia. And this is something that I've pointed out time and time again. This time it's rather obvious. They are both against Iran here on this world stage, and they're looking to ramp up stuff in Lebanon and in Yemen. Now, some of the hadiths state that Saudi Arabia will be consumed by fire from the Yemen. And I'm sure that the upper echelon here in Saudi Arabia realize this. And I've talked about who put them in power and how everything changed in Saudi Arabia from the way it used to be in ancient Saudi Arabia. I've also talked about the workings of the crown. Interestingly enough, a story right here about Priti Patel, which is the Tory minister, was called back to London because she was caught having these off-the-record meetings with dudes from Israel. Okay? Netanyahu and them behind this whole thing, through and through. But when it comes to the huge purge that just went down inside of Saudi Arabia, we start to see that some other things have been happening. Saudi Arabia had declined $250 billion in their worth. And when you look at this large scale, this crackdown on all these princes and all these other individuals, some are saying that this is almost an extortion attempt by the government on other royal members. And if they achieve what they're setting out to do, they will rake in some $800 billion by basically extorting it from all their enemies. They're trying to say that all these people they arrested were part of this plot to overthrow the king and the crown prince and all this stuff. So they've arrested them, and then they say all their wealth will become property of the state. Assets, land, you name it. And let's not forget the guy that just got taken out in the helicopter and all this. And we had talked about the guy that was holding all these shares of Twitter and everything else. All this wealth now being consolidated and pulled right back into the Saudi royal elite. They're confiscating all of it is what they're doing. That's it in a nutshell in the end. This is a country that has been going out of its way to build a ditch and a fence around it to fortify itself. And I've talked about it. We've talked about the boogeyman who created it. Voila, here you go. Everything front and center. Now, who oversees these guys globally? All what? A UN thing that they were part of creating and everything else? Who oversees the Mossad, the CIA, all that? Anybody? On Jesuit command, huh? Yep. That's what they're doing. Here on this world stage. So I hope you see who's working hand in hand here. And as things escalate, there should be no wonder as to why. They're calling for it. Now I'm going to leave a link so you can read into this a little bit further. You can see the connections through and through here on this world stage. What's going on, and read into the details here on what they've done, this purge, and taking all this money from all these elites in Saudi Arabia. Exposing this is what we do, and that's why we say Illuminati. This is Dabu7, and it is Illuminati.